Ottoman Empire, a name that still sparks controversy today. Were they visionary conquerors who helped shape the world we live in, or were they ruthless invaders, no different from the empires that oppressed so many throughout history? The answer might surprise you, and it's not as clear-cut as you might think. Let's dive deep into the legacy of one of history's most powerful and enigmatic empires. Chapter 1. The Meteoric Rise. Imagine a small, obscure Turkish principality in the late 13th century. No one could have predicted that this tiny state would rise to dominate 3 continents. It's like thinking of a startup in a garage that suddenly becomes a global tech giant, disrupting everything in its path. But how did they do it? The Ottoman Empire's rise wasn't just about military might. It was a blend of cunning diplomacy, innovative tactics, and a deep understanding of their rivals. When they captured Constantinople in 1453, they didn't just take a city, they took the heart of the Byzantine Empire, a place that had withstood invasions for centuries. This wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. They transformed Constantinople into Istanbul, the jewel of their empire, turning it into a hub of culture, trade, and politics. But what drove this incredible ambition? Was it the desire to create, or simply a hunger for power? Chapter 2. Conquests and Consequences. As the Ottomans expanded, they didn't just bring lands under their control, they brought a new order to regions that had been ravaged by war and instability. In many ways, they were like the stabilizers of their time, imposing structure in chaos. They brought a level of governance and infrastructure that had been missing, much like how some modern superpowers claim to bring democracy and development to war-torn regions today. But here's the twist, this order came at a significant cost. The Ottomans were known for their strict control and swift retribution. Dissent was not tolerated, and entire populations were sometimes uprooted to ensure loyalty. Think of it like a modern surveillance state, where the price of peace is constant oversight and the threat of severe punishment for stepping out of line. The Ottomans mastered this balance, using fear as a tool to maintain control. But was this truly peace, or simply oppression with a different name? Chapter 3. The Cultural Powerhouse. Despite their military might, the Ottomans were also patrons of art, science, and culture. Their empire became a melting pot of different cultures, religions, and ideas. Imagine the cultural vibrancy of New York City or London today, but with a much stronger central authority dictating the rules. They built magnificent mosques, developed a unique architectural style, and made advances in medicine and astronomy that were ahead of their time. Their legal system was sophisticated, and in many ways, they were ahead of their European counterparts. But here's the paradox, the same empire that promoted such cultural and scientific achievements also enforced a rigid social hierarchy and maintained power through brutal military campaigns. It's like applauding a tech company for innovation while overlooking its questionable labor practices. The Ottomans were brilliant in their ability to advance civilization in some areas, while simultaneously enforcing their rule with an iron fist. Chapter 4. The Turning Point. By the 16th century, the Ottoman Empire had reached its zenith. They were feared and respected across the world. But as with any superpower, the cracks began to show. Their expansion slowed, internal struggles grew, and their ability to maintain control over such a vast territory was increasingly challenged. It's a story we've seen in modern times with the decline of other global empires. The Ottoman story is a reminder that no empire, no matter how powerful, is immune to the forces of change. As they tried to hold on to their power, the Ottomans faced rebellions, economic difficulties, and the rise of other powers that were ready to challenge them. Their methods of control, once seen as effective, were now seen as oppressive by those who lived under their rule. The line between conqueror and invader, between liberator and oppressor, blurred even further. Conclusion: a legacy of duality. So, were the Ottomans conquerors or ruthless invaders? The answer isn't simple. They were both. They brought order to chaos, but often at a great human cost. They were builders of culture and civilization, but also enforcers of harsh rule. Their legacy is one of duality, a reminder that history is rarely black and white. In today's world, where we often glorify the achievements of great powers while overlooking their darker sides, the story of the Ottoman Empire serves as a powerful lesson. They were undoubtedly one of the most formidable forces in history, but their greatness came with significant consequences. Whether you see them as heroes or villains, one thing is clear: their impact on the world is undeniable, and their story continues to provoke debate, even centuries later.
Thanks for watching to the end. Like and subscribe to help me grow the channel.